Do you think more high-profile athletes like Jared Hayne will come to you instead of mainstream journalists?
Yeah, well, there's a few benefits. Because they control the message, but also, if you want to build your social media and you're a smart athlete that knows that you're a commodity and this is very valuable for when you retire. Like you have 500,000 likes when you retire. You can launch any business you want off that and live a good life. So that's another thing, because it is social media and they're coming on the show and they can share it on their page. It's content for their page. Also, it makes people aware that they are on social media and that they are genuinely care about building that brand kind of thing. And it's just, it's a casual vibe and it's a safe vibe. I think the biggest issue at the moment for athletes is the safety of their image, and they're worried that they could say something that sounds bad and then it gets taken out of context, and it's a vicious cycle because so they're worried about saying something, then the media outlets are like, well, if you're not going to say anything, we need to try and find something. So the media outlets, they've got a boss and they need to get clicks and they need to get money for advertising. So they're sitting there going, well, we don't really want to be doing this, but we have to if we want to make money, if we want to make a living. But they've got to, so it's like a Mexican standoff. Both parties aren't playing well with each other. But the only way it would ever probably be fixed is if you take the capitalist system out of journalism, which is communism. So you couldn't do that. So the only thing I could see is turning, getting rid of the blurred line of news and entertainment, and trying to, I guess, say to people, this is entertainment site and this is a news site. And I think that then you'll find that that'll kind of solve the issue, so that people know that, okay, this is entertainment. I don't know how true this is. There's a bit of truth to it, but it's entertainment. I know it's entertainment. This is news. This is factual. This is real. This is quotes, and this is rah rah. So that's a whole nother. We could talk about that for hours, I'm sure. But I think that in the future that more people will want to come on the show, definitely.
Do you think mainstream media are getting out of touch with the public?
No, not really, because a capitalist system is a capitalist system, a free market. They click on it. What I do think is the media, they take advantage of our most base needs and our most base kind of things as humans. And obviously, we have all these natural tendencies that we, in a civilized society, we suppress. But the media plays on those natural urges of like drama and negativity and all that kind of stuff. So I think that is their issue, is you got this thing where they need to make money. It's not really their fault because people are clicking on it. So whose fault is it? Is the person clicking on it? If we all just tomorrow stopped reading shitty headlines, they would stop producing shitty headlines. But in saying that, they are in a position of power, and should there be a bit of responsibility on the media's hands to go? I think that if you said to media outlets now, every journalist is going to be accountable for what they say. If they say something incorrect, you can get fined or whatever, or whatever it is. I think you'd find real quick journalists they'd start going, okay, I'm not going to say that. What I think I was going to say, I'm not going to say that. So accountability is a big issue. But on the same side, on the other side of the coin, people click it and they press play, and that generates revenue for them. So we're all guilty of it. And I think it's just more of a human, a natural tendency to gravitate towards drama. It's been like that since we were in tribes. Drama is something that really, storytelling is something that has kind of propelled civilization forward. So it's a tough issue.
Which guest has surprised you the most in the locker room?
Jordan Rapana.
Okay.
So I messaged him and I was like, hey bro, you want to come on the show, man? Like, I'd really appreciate it. He's like, bro, I'm not good at interviews. Like, oh, man, I don't know. Like, what if I bring BJ on and we'll do like two? I'm like, man, it's not set up for that. Like, so it wouldn't really work. So I went cold for a bit, and we actually, how the friendship came about is like we're on Instagram DMing each other about Game of Thrones. And so so we actually grew a friendship over Game of Thrones. And then within a few days we were doing the interview.
That's super good.
And so we sat down, and he's like, and when we sat down, he's like, oh, I get worried about like my words getting taken out of context, all that kind of stuff. And so I was thinking, this is going to be a tough interview. I'm going to have to get out of it. He was fantastic, entertaining, funny, like just charismatic. He was one of the best interviews I've had. He spoke for long, really good answers. And so Jordan Rapana was, it was good.
That's cool. So is it easy for you to get the players' trust, being your next player?
I think it crosses a line. So for example, I'm speaking to Robbie Farah right now, and I think it crosses a line when I say to him, bro, like, you have control over it. So if we can sit down and do the interview, and if you want to delete it, it gets deleted. I think that gets them across the line, because they're like, okay, like obviously if he's willing to say anything gets deleted, I don't have to stress out, I don't have to worry about anything, I control the message. You know, for example, Sammy Bremer, the Australian fullback, like I sent her the episode yesterday, she went through it, said everything's sweet, you don't have to delete anything. So I think that is the key ingredient to trust, is knowing that no matter what happens, no matter what is said, even if it's good for the show, you know, Anthony Mundine, he said some crazy stuff on my interview, got deleted. It'd be great for the show, but I would never betray the person's trust. And I think just a track record of continually doing that is what builds their trust, kind of thing.
You've had numerous sponsors come on board and invest in your web show. Just how was your relationship like with them, and how supportive have they been?
It's good. So they come on board, and Alpha Labs, the supplement company, actually came through Nathan Ross. Nathan Ross came on the show and I said, look man, if you've got any mates or anything like that want to, to some guests I say, if you want anything advertised, just let us know. I'll put a little ad on the show for you. And he said, oh, I don't really have anything personally, but I've got a mate that has a supplement company that, yeah, I'd do it for him. And so I said, yeah, sweet, of course I'll do it. And then we got to talking more, and I said, look man, if he wants to actually sponsor the show, he can if he wants. And that's how he was actually already a fan of the show, and that's how it came about. It's really good. They just say that they know what they're getting, and they just say, you know, here's how much we're going to pay you per week. Just do your thing. There's no control. There's no, you need to say this, you need to say that. I think if it got into bigger things, but that's something I'm trying to avoid. I don't really want to go to bigger sponsors that are going to be worried about the message. And that's a good thing about small sponsors, is that they are flexible with, you know, the messaging and stuff like that. So it's really good. They give me a lot of freedom to do whatever I want.
Where do you see the media going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Just all online. It'll be all online. 20 years time, I don't even think people watch TV. Wow. And maybe even less. It's already happening. Like, I mean, I'm speaking to a guy called Jackson O'Doherty, and so he's a comedian. And although it is short film clips, he's got 1 million followers on Facebook. He puts the video up, it gets 1 million views. The finale of The Bachelor doesn't even get 1 million views. And if they do, it's a win for them. Yeah. Footy show probably costs what, 500 grand a week to run, with, like, you know, airtime, all their contracts, all that stuff. 195,000 views. Comedians are getting that, like that on the internet. And I think we're still living in an antiquated system where advertisers, they know their ROI, return on investment. Obviously you would know that, but fans watching, return on investment, they know what they're going to get with TV. But as soon as the advertisers go, this is crazy, what are we doing, pouring millions of dollars to get barely anyone going our sites, comparing to pour that same $1 million into Facebook identities, into YouTube personalities. As soon as that happens, TV's dead. And yeah, I think you'll find in 20 years TV won't even exist.
Okay. So everything will just be video?
Everything will be in videos, yep. And I think also you'll find that most, I think even the actual TVs won't exist. I think you'll find most things will be virtual reality. So, you know, people will be watching, they won't be watching their TV in bed, they'll be lying in bed with some kind of virtual reality thing on. So you won't be buying the hardware of TV anymore. You'll have your virtual reality, most likely either your virtual reality or your phone will be so upgraded that you'll be putting your phone into the virtual reality. So I think that you'll find in 10 or 15 years, you'll just have your phone and that's it. You won't have like the laptop, you'll have probably a keyboard that connects to maybe a virtual reality thing and you type like that, but anything other than that, I think you'll find that everyone will be working from their phone with everything. So you'll just put your phone down, AirPlay it to a screen or to virtual reality or whatever, or a projector or whatever it is, and you'll have a wireless keyboard and boom, go away. So yeah, I think that TV is pretty much, it's not going to live on.
Do you have a message for your fans out there, and is there anything you'd like to say?
Fans here. What's going on, guys? Message. Just thank you. I don't want to ask for anything. Just thank you. Thank you for enjoying what I do, and thank you. That's honestly all I can say is thank you so much for making my life better.